sustainability, it comes on various sectors like financial sustainability. For example, if I make a building which is a very high maintenance building, then perhaps we have to see that what we are doing it, do we have that much of fund? Whatever we are doing, we should do it with the conviction, the clarity and honesty.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I am Rajesh Joshi, and today we have the privilege of speaking with a highly regarded architect and project management professional whose career spans over 4 decades across multiple continents, including India, Europe, and the Middle East. His career is marked by his leadership in project planning, design, execution, and management of these projects across various sectors, including hospitality, healthcare, education, energy, and urban infrastructure. Currently fulfilling the role of Chief Operating Advisor at Sr39 Engineers Private Limited and Advisor Consultant Design to the Creative Group, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ajog Kumar Bose to the podcast. Mr. Bose, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Great, sir. Mr. Bose, to begin our discussion, architecture is often described as a symphony of space, design, and utility. Reflecting on your 43 years in the field, could you share an experience that fundamentally shaped your approach to architectural design and project management?
In the beginning, when I was young, just came out from my college, I started doing the design along with those times stalwarts of Mr. Kanvinde and Mr. Stein. Now, slowly I grew my career and acting on a small projects. Then, fortunately, those times the Asian Games village, it was coming out. I participated in the design of the Asian Game village, which is now iconic building in Delhi called Shri Fort Auditorium.
Right.
After that, slowly I grew. After the Asian Games event, I went to the Middle East. In the Middle East, again, it is taking the international experience, working with the international consultants and the designers, working in the Middle East, including the Palace Complex in Salalah, which is again an iconic building. After that, I went back to the Europe to gain some more experience on the western side. And from there, I came back to the Middle East after spending about a couple of years in Europe. I came back to the Middle East. In the Middle East, I worked for some time, then I came back to India. That is my career journey. In India, I joined a French company called Esteemed Consultants Limited. They were the infrastructure giant of India. They were working in almost all big projects in India at that time. And from the Esteemed Consultants, I had very wide international experience because their spread is global. They are working all over the globe, and I was their main architect in this group. So I worked in the Far East, in the Middle East, in Europe, in Russia, and in Africa. So that is the privilege I had, and from there I took my training.
No doubt, Mr. Bose, your experience in shaping architectural design is truly inspiring. It highlights the depth of your expertise in the field, plus the fact that such a wide exposure, especially geographically, with different, shall I say, different types or different methods or different approaches to architecture, aesthetics, and so on. I'm 100% sure with such a wide experience, you must have gained tremendous knowledge and expertise in shaping up your career, sir.
Actually, yes. The more you go out, you try to learn, and more you feel that you still have to have so many miles to go. So in the after the early phases of my design,
Uh-huh.
I realized that the execution of the design is the problem, and it is not getting whatever we are thinking or whatever we dream of. It is
Right.
not getting translated onto the ground
Right.
properly because of the maybe poor management. Sometimes there are administrative flaws. Sometimes there are lack of communication. Perhaps we are not, as an architect, I am not able to transmit it to the stakeholder that what
Mm-hmm.
really it comes to. Then I decided that I have to spread my knowledge back onto the management side of it, so
Mm-hmm.
that my
Mm-hmm.
communication skills are better, and I'm able to interact with them to get the work done the way I want to do it. And I did some courses on that,
Uh-huh.
and so that my knowledge grows. So I took some lessons, and slowly I migrated from the drawing board to the field.
Okay.
That gave me a different kind of experience, interacting directly with the workers, with the artisans, with the team who really are on the ground. And it also gave me a whole round experience of right from the inception to the execution. Like I worked with the builders to know what kind of challenges they face when they acquire the land, then what are the compliances they have to make,
Uh-huh.
how the design can aid them to to really gain to get their gains on time, so that the project do not go into the NPA side.
Right.
So these are all challenges because the client is always in hurry, having invested money into any infrastructure or any kind of project. They are always
Mm.
in hurry
Yes.
to get return.
Right.
Otherwise, they are in trouble.
Mm.
So, to mitigate these challenges, you need to learn a lot. You need to really work on the ground along with them, go to the various institutes and see what kind of challenges the people they face, like dealing with the government departments, dealing with the patwaris. These are all challenges.
Right.
So
Right.
I worked with them, and fortunately, I got those uh, experiences where I can really guide my team and tell them what to do and how to do it more efficiently, so that the time management is better, my client is safe, the investments are safe, bank is happy, and my project is still viable by the time I deliver it to my client for the operation. That is the objective.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Bose. From where you come, I mean, if correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, I mean, an architect, somebody who knows the crux of the matter, right from design and the tricks of the trade, etc. To somebody who also knows the management side of the business, the finance side of the business, the ROI side of the business, the implication side of the business. I mean, I believe you bring about a complete package to anybody. I mean, even as a consultant or as an advisor that you are with a couple of companies, I'm 100% sure those guys must be looking at you as a complete package. Somebody who will advise us on designs, and at the same time, somebody if it is about compliance, if it is about management, somebody will also I mean, you will also come about and provide any kind of solutions. That's absolutely phenomenal, sir.
Actually, it is quite a challenge that when you are working on the entire life cycle of a project, it gives
Right.
you a different kind of a feeling. And if you have that knowledge, then that is a very very uh, uh, very plus point on the individual and the organization. That's what I feel. I'll give you an example. When I was working for the Burgurian Holding, there's a holding company,
Mm-hmm.
and this holding company is for them it is an investment in
Uh,
India. It's an
uh-huh.
American company where the Nicholas Berggren, he came and he invested in the hotel segment, in hospitality segment, and his brand name was Keys Hotel. which is
Okay.
now merged into the lemon tree. And as a director technical, my task was to build a property for them so that they are able to run those property in their name. Plus, they have certain management hotels also with them to increase the format.
Right.
Spread of their own hotel was all over India, right from the Ludhiana to down south in Kerala.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 9 projects. The challenge was that they had 4 years time to build all the 9 projects. They
Mm-hmm.
had taken loan from the bank. And the CEO, Mr. Nicholas, both of them, they told me that if their projects are not delivered in time, they'll go in.
Okay.
Now the challenge all spreading over the India and controlling them and delivering it in time with the quality, because in the hotel industry you can't compromise with the quality of work. So
Absolutely.
the brand building, everything is related to that. Like in in the hurry burry, I cannot compromise the quality. I cannot, then the product is diluted.
Right.
With this objective, I thought that I have to tailor it. I have to strategize it, which I did, and I'm very proud that I could deliver it. And the brand, in the end of it, Mr. Nicholas, he could make profit with the brand. He could exit the brand, sell it off to the lemon tree, and he go out happy person. That is my
Fantastic.
achievement in the life when you have the experience of the whole life cycle.
Right, 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 right. Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Bose. I'm 100% sure. I mean, I am enlightened, no doubt about it. And at the same time, our viewers also are enlightened. Moving on, you worked on diverse projects from residential developments to large scale infrastructure. How do you adapt your architectural vision to the unique challenges and requirements of each project, ensuring both creativity and compliance?
When I passed out from my college, way back in the 1979, from the IIT Roorkee, I graduated and I
Okay.
came to the market, and I I found the dimension of the architecture, or the narratives of the architectures were different. The expectation of the client was different.
Mhm.
Over the period, it has become more commercialized. Now it is not only the design but the sustainability of the design which is more important.
Absolutely.
With this, there are many other challenges which has come into the market. These challenges are environment related. These challenges are governance related. These challenges are social in nature. Uh, with this, you get into a different kind of a design with the different kind of a challenges, like working for the public housing, for the EWS, for the Janata, to the high-end housing for the builders. You know, like my experience with the builders like JP,
Mhm.
in the JP Green, which is a very high-end development across the golf course.
Right.
Working with the DLF for that matter, it is an eye opener. Like for them, it is a money, and for them it is a brand, the product. That matters,
Right.
and
Right.
each product every time it is a level higher because it's a competitive market. So the finishing, the, the looks of it, the aesthetics of it, everything matters there. Along with the management and the way you execute. Like every nook and corner is very well manicured, properly done, and you go to the other side of it when we develop it for the EWS. Everything in this design has to be sustainable. Like their
Right.
requirements are different, my requirements are different, their lifestyle is different, and the lifestyle of the high-end products are different. We have to cater for both of them. Now, to do it, you really need to feel what is happening there. What do they
Hmm.
want? How do they live? That is that is the challenge.
Right.
Because when I was doing, for example, in
Yes.
Gurgaon. there is a
Uh-huh.
provision that for every housing there has to be certain portion which goes into the EWS.
Okay.
Now there is a proportion. So we make for every housing development, we build for the high end, and for the same there is a like a corporate social responsibility. It is done as a EWS, which is distributed by the government.
Okay. Okay.
So with this challenge, when we are doing both of them, so this is a high-end thing. This is again a EWS thing, but in the EWS, your requirements are going to be different. You have to feel, you have to build like that, so that it complies, and it is also liked by that. It should not become like a slum after some
Right.
time.
Right.
So
Right.
it has to be sustainable, like the water system, the sanitary, the cleanliness, the hygiene, everything has to be designed, has to be such that, because in the high end thing, it happens automatically,
Right.
but in
Right.
the EWS it doesn't, and that is the main difference. Everything has to be like very well ventilated in the EWS, so that there is no stale air. uh, the area should be very very well defined, open area, so that they are not dirty. There are not corners which are again becomes the kind of a dirt, in a place of dirt, accumulation of the dirt. So these things has to be catered for right in the beginning. Apart from this, there are social projects. There are like entertainment. Every project is a challenge by itself when it comes to the design.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Bose, your ability to adapt your vision to different projects is remarkable, no doubt about that. And it is also a testament to your versatility in architecture. So, moving on to the next point in discussion here, your career has seen you work across countries such as Libya, Oman, and the UK. How has your international experience enriched your architectural perspective? And what unique insights have you gained from these global projects, sir?
The project and the way of execution of every project, along with the technology, brings a new kind of a technology.
Right.
For example, when we started working here in India, it was mostly the frame, non-frame structure, the brick construction.
Uh-huh.
Then came the RCC construction, the frame structure. By
Right.
that time, the Europe, they were on a different kind of a technology. Like when I was
Hmm.
working in the Middle East, it was all concrete with the transmixers, the silos, and when I was there, it was shocking to me to see so much of mechanization in the construction industry, and
Okay.
as compared to India. But
Right.
slowly now all those things are in India. In India, they are not less. Uh, and once from there, every climatic condition, there are different kind of a mobilization. For example, when I was working with the in Russia, in
Hmm.
Tashkent, those are all very cold places. Now
Right.
the concreting technology there, it was a different, and what we work with a different kind of a technology, like the precast. In everything is factory made.
Right. Right.
You make in the factory, you come and assemble it here at the site, so that the exposure of the concrete to the cold environment is minimized, and the concrete, it is sustainable. So this technology, and every place is a new place. In Africa, it is a different kind of a technology there, with a different kind
Right.
of a you know architectural expression. Their local people, their culture, the their learning over the period, adaptability of the climatic condition, all these things, they matter a lot. And this is also learning for us at a new
Right.
place, and a new kind of a learning. So it was fantastic journey, and it is very nice to know that how people, they learn from the nature. That is the beauty of it, that we try to import the technologies, but my local people, the villagers, when I go to working at a rural sector, uh, then I realize that how intelligent they are, that they
Right.
adopt these technologies into their advantage, and they still survive along with the nature, and that is the earth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your global experiences bring valuable insights, Mr. Bose. Thank you for sharing how they have shaped your approach to architecture, particularly. In the world of architecture, sustainable design is more important than ever now. How do you incorporate sustainability into your projects? And what advice do you have for upcoming architects striving to find a balance between creativity and ESG norms?
To do that, for every designer, my advice will be the sustainability. It comes on various sectors like
Mhm.
financial sustainability, the operational sustainability, uh, climatic sustainability, and the ecological sustainability. Uh, Now, like I said earlier, uh, the the local study of the local social and economic traditions and the culture is very important,
Right.
and uh, so that we can adopt them, we can integrate them into our thoughts. Our thoughts should not be that I do something for my own country or for my own place and
Mhm.
try to replicate it somewhere else. It doesn't work. It
Right.
will
Right.
not work, and it will not be sustainable, and people will eventually they will say it is not a good design. In
Right.
first impact they may say it is something new, novelty has come, but if it is non-sustainable climatically or culture wise, then it will not work. I'll give you an example that socially, you know
Mhm.
something which has come up somewhere else and which was adopted from there, created in some other country, it has never worked like that, and it has also created a lot of havocs on those countries, and that
Right.
is what we are facing nowadays. That people they do certain they do make certain things, but forcefully making it doesn't work. You have to really bring people to accept it.
Right. Right.
Like, if I make uh, a very fantastic building in a place where people are really not yet ready to use that building or that
Mhm.
uh, use of that building, then it will not survive.
Absolutely.
Like my school, suppose I make a school of say 1000 capacity, and if there are no students are not on that number, then ultimately it will become a jump. So there's no point, and that is what we see, that we create infrastructure without understanding the total demand of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Bose, I mean, I just kind of, remembered a line that I had actually read somewhere. If you build a skyscraper for an Eskimo, you're only wasting time, money, and energy
Investing time.
because the
Yes,
Eskimo is not going to live in that any which ways.
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I mean to say.
Right, right,
I and with this the sustainability also comes. For example, if I make a building which is a very high maintenance building, then
right.
perhaps we have to see that what we are doing it, do we have that much of fund to do that kind of a maintenance. Otherwise ultimately things will start breaking down, so
Absolutely,
maintenance will
absolutely.
not happen. I can give you an example. I
Yes,
can give
please.
you, see, I was doing the headquarters of the Indian Oil building here in
Uh huh.
Sadiq Nagar,
Uh huh.
and Sadiq Nagar in Delhi.
Right.
This Indian oil company is a cash rich company, and in 2002 that building, when once it was conceived and it was the work started there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the chairman of the Indian Oil, he was very clear that he wanted a very high end building with all modern technology. Now the concept of the smart building was coming up that time, and
Okay.
he wanted everything very smart on that, including the parking, the guided parking, manless, and the sensor lights, those kind of things. The
Mm-hmm.
air conditioning, which can be operated from his laptop and mobile phones. So we did that, but that happened because it was Indian oil.
Right. Right.
Now imagine if I do it for a normal government building, it will not survive.
Absolutely.
And that Indian Oil office, even today, it is surviving like that.
Right.
It's a zero carbon building with all solar, uh, and it's a small urban building, but then it's a good, very good, fantastic building.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Bose. This example itself kind of brings out the very fact. I mean, what we have been discussing for the last 5 minutes is that it is all about horses for courses. There is no point in unnecessarily copying somebody else's design or a monument just because you liked it. You also have to look at adaptability here. I mean, whether it is really required, whether it is going to consume natural resources out of the land, or are you imposing something which is not maybe as good for the environment here locally wherever you want to adapt. That's
Exactly.
really fantastic approach, Mr. Bose, I must say that. So moving on, Mr. Bose, your commitment to sustainable design is commendable, no doubt about it. Your advice will undoubtedly guide the next generation of architects. Now, architecture is a visual art, and the buildings speak for themselves. What do you consider the most iconic project of your career, and what makes it stand out, and why is it so iconic?
Well, iconic projects of my career is there are uh, there are airports
Uh huh.
which I did, which I'm still doing, uh, which are the public, out of the public buildings, and there are certain convention centers like the General Manesha Convention Center in Delhi. It is designed
Okay.
by me, and
Okay.
which is again one of the very iconic building in defense ministry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We won through a competition. It was a national competition.
Uh huh.
So, and Indian Oil building, it is again a good building, iconic building. Uh, it was also won through a national competition. Likewise, there was a parliament building in Africa. It is in Tanzania. It was done by us, and then
Hmm.
of course, at least the palace complex and those things. Where I was involved, but I was not the main designer, of course. But I happened to work on that. It was the early part of my life. But those were all, the iconic buildings, of course.
Oh, fantastic! I mean, while you were just enlisting all of these and recollecting all of these, I could see the pride and joy on your face, and that beautiful smile. That's actually a sign of really a great achievement that you were actually putting out, sir. I could see that
Actually, it was,
satisfaction coming out when you were giving
yes.
out, one after the other. You were giving out the names of all those projects that you've
So
been part of. It is
when
fantastic.
you
It is very
when
nice
you
to
see
see.
a design, your dream come. No, it's really into the reality and people using it. Uh, when I pass through the airports, which incidentally, I have done about 12 airports in India,
Uh-huh.
and I am doing one airport in Africa, and I have done at least three airports in Middle East.
Okay.
And when I pass through those airports and I see the people, they are commenting on that, and they are it, it gives me a lot of pleasure.
Oh yes.
So
Oh yes.
now a new like the railway stations have come now. They are coming
Right.
up. So I
Right.
am involved in at least the development of two railway stations also.
Okay. Okay. A lot
So
of
the
work, I
railway,
believe. A lot of work needs to be done there too, and I'm
yes, yes,
100% sure you will definitely
yeah,
convert these railway stations into, if I may say, hotspots for tourism, if that is how you want to design it. That's
correct.
really fantastic.
Correct.
Right, sir. So your insights into your most iconic projects, and all this is very fascinating. This is really enlightening. I mean, I am myself feeling very happy actually talking to you, because when you see a happy person, when you see a person who has actually not just designed it, has conceptualized it, designed it, executed it, planned it, managed it, and the most important part is has actually given back to whoever was the investor. whether it was the government, whether it was the private investor, was actually given it back. Value for money, maybe $10 to one that was invested. I mean, I can see that happiness on your face. That's really fantastic, Mr. Bose. So, Mr. Bose, coming up to the second last question, if I may say so, what heartfelt message? And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are watching this podcast, wanting to hear from you about this. What heartfelt message would you share with aspiring architectural professionals who are in the middle of their journey and are eager to make a meaningful difference with their career, sir?
My message to my fellow professionals are that whatever we are doing, we should do it with the conviction, with the clarity and honesty. These are the three things which everybody should remember. And in the end of the day, whatever work we are doing, we are doing it for the profession. Money
Absolutely.
is one part, of course, that is also important, but that is one part. But once that is sorted out, my professional commitment, it should be the main aim of mine, and my entire thought process, it should go towards that. That's my mantra of working. When I am on my drawing board, I only remember that I have to give my best.
Fantastic, fantastic. Immerse yourself in what you want to do, what you have set out for, and the rest will follow. I believe Mr. Bose's message to everybody is loud and clear, and it surely is for me too, sir. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this discussion. Just a parting question. How would you describe your overall experience with Directors Institute for your boardroom transition? Were there any specific aspects that particularly stood out to you?
In the directors institute, my experience has been very good so far. I learned a lot. This is a different dimension which I have not touched yet in my career, and which is giving me a lot of pleasure and a lot of thrill to learn that uh, we can do this also, and we can be there also, because so far my career has been on this side of the table when I have a
Mhm.
client who is the investor and I'm working for him. Now
Right,
going to the other side, that the client, his expectations, his desire, and how the designer should perform, that is a different kind of experience, which
right,
is again again a
right,
thrill.
right, right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Bose, it has been a privilege to learn from your vast experience in architecture and project management. Your dedication to sustainable development and your innovative approach to large scale projects are genuinely impressive. Thank you for sharing your journey with us today, sir. Your story is sure to inspire many young architects and professionals to push the boundaries of what is possible in their fields. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Bose, for sharing these insights.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Sure, sir. We look forward to sharing more inspiring stories and insights from remarkable leaders in our next session. Until then, keep upskilling and finding joy in your journey. This is Rajesh Joshi signing off.